This is a stimulus update and daily news report. I've seen a lot of your comments pointing out the fact that stimulus funds are going to people with families, people with kids. Well, now there's this new adult stimulus that is paying up to $4,000. You don't need any kids, don't need any families. I'm going to share with you exactly how that works. Some states are forced to repay back that $300 per week unemployment boost. We'll talk about increase in Social Security. Then I'll give you the latest of what's going on with those infrastructure deal packages. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate these fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So the CDC flips, flops, and flops again. They are reversing indoor mask policy, saying fully vaccinated people and kids should wear them indoors. So this happened just as of yesterday, and they are trying to do this ahead of the fall when the Delta variant is expected to cause another surge in coronavirus cases, and many large employers plan to bring workers back to the office. Let me know down in the comments below if you were not wearing a mask before, fully vaccinated. Are you going to start wearing a mask again? Once again, what do you think? Masks on, masks off? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. It seems like every other week it's something different. Next, let's talk about how some states are forced to restore the $300 per week unemployment benefits after jobless Americans sue. So, in the states of Maryland and Indiana, the judges ordered to reinstate the $300 per week unemployment boost. It is not retroactive, so it is just going to start from when it picked up after the lawsuit. And there's about 5 other lawsuits going on right now. I think we have Ohio. So far, none of them have made judgments yet and have restored it, just Maryland and Indiana so far. Next, let's talk about how stimulus checks and child tax credit payments help prompt calls to expand another credit benefiting workers. So this is that adult tax credit, similar to the child tax credit. I'm going to dive into this. So basically, the earned income tax credit gives low and moderate income workers a tax break. For 2021, that credit was expanded to help workers of all ages and those without children. Now there are calls to make the break more generous for a longer period of time. So basically, anytime you hear tax break, think about more money. If you hear generous, that means more money as well. So basically, the way this works, I usually don't like to read articles fully. I like to summarize them for you, but with this one, it's very dense and I want to make sure you fully understand it. So I'm going to read this one. Millions of Americans are feeling a financial boost from federal stimulus checks and monthly child tax credits. Those direct checks were possible by tax credits that were created and expanded through the legislation aimed at helping the U.S. economy bounce back from COVID-19. And as Americans get used to additional financial help, there are calls to make enhanced tax credits permanent. That includes a child tax credit and temporary expansion to earned income tax credit as well. So the earned income tax credit, EITC, we're going to call this the adult tax credit or EITC, but I think adult tax credit makes more sense. So the adult tax credit gives low to moderate income individuals and families a tax break. To qualify, taxpayers generally must show proof of earned income. They may also qualify for a bigger credit based on how many dependents they have. But keep in mind, you do not need any dependents and you don't need a family to qualify for this. So the earned income tax credit was made more generous for the year of 2021 in several ways. Now, workers without children can qualify. For the first time, it is now available to younger workers and has no age limit. So they've expanded the qualifications and eligibility, so a larger amount of people are going to take advantage of this. And it gets better. I'm going to share with you the $4,000 that you could get from this in a moment. But first, taxpayers will generally not see the effects of the expanded adult tax credit until they file their taxes next spring. So you're not going to see the benefits of this increased amount until 2022. However, there are already calls to extend the adult tax credit expansion beyond this year. Notably, that includes President Joe Biden's American Families Plan. It also includes a bill reintroduced by Gwen Moore from Wisconsin last week called the Work Relief and Credit Reform Act, which aims to both expand and modernize the adult tax credit. All right, so let's get into the numbers now. That gives you an idea of what it is. So under Representative Moore's proposal, the maximum credit would also be more generous, up to $4,000 per individual or $8,000 per married couple. This is without any dependents, without any kids. So you could get up to $4,000 through this tax credit. Basically, they give you a check. Now they're trying to, this is the generous amount. They're trying to do this, but just kind of talking out loud, similar to the child tax credit, which was either $3,000 or $3,600 for the year. And then they broke that down. They gave you an advance credit where you were able to get $250 or $300 per month. I think this would be a great idea too. They could break up this $4,000 and give $2,000 monthly before January comes, and then give the other half back in January or whenever tax season is. And $8,000, that's a lot of money too. So I'll keep you updated on this new adult tax credit as we find out more information. They're trying to get this going too, so this could be really good. This could pay out a lot. Next, let's talk about what's going on with this infrastructure. So Democrats ramp up pressure for infrastructure deal amid time crunch. And it really is a time crunch because the House representatives are leaving for their recess just in a couple days. Friday, it's the 30th, and then they're gone. And I don't know how any of these packages are going to be voted on if they're gone. They're either going to have to stay in session or not go on their vacation. So basically, here is Republican Senator talking about the latest update with infrastructure moving forward.
They are up to, we did $4 trillion last year, did $2 trillion already this year. I think it's creating an inflation bomb that's going to be exploding from here until the midterms. But the big issue is that they're up against the calendar. We're here 36 weeks a year and maybe three and a half days out of each week. And they've frittered away a lot of time. And Biden is mostly responsible for this, maybe thinking there could be some type of way to fool you into going along with this discussion. It is stumbled along the way. We had a deal, and now you just heard it. I think Republicans are in a spot where we hold the cards here, and we can point out with everything that's wrong, and they're up against the gun because they're running out of time, not only for this, their reconciliation bill, and the plethora of other crazy policy ideas out there.
But there is a cost to Republicans. I mean, a lot of people say, how can Republicans hold Democrats accountable for inflation if they go along with a spending plan on infrastructure that, first of all, has a lot of stuff that's not infrastructure in it? They're talking about immigration and all kinds of stuff that doesn't detail taxes, new tax income that supposedly will come from raising taxes, and that could lead to these other trillion-dollar plans.
Great point, not to mention that the debt ceiling is going to have to be raised as well. And I hope that every Republican lets the Democrats own that tricky maneuver here in a month or so. You're 100% right. It's a fait accompli. Pelosi has said that we're going to do $3.5 trillion through reconciliation. To me, that hurts the conversation on hard infrastructure, especially with squishy pay-fors. And I think we got to articulate it in that way, or we will be complicit in trying to push hard just for the sake of having a bipartisan infrastructure deal. We know that infrastructure, probably along with defense, maybe shoring up entitlements, important to Republicans and Democrats. But in this case, they have gotten very risky politically by putting this all out there. And I think we're not only going to have inflation to deal with, we're going to have a broken economy, even though we're feeling a sugar high into the 2022 election.
Yeah, sure. What are your thoughts on this? Are things going to get done? Are we going to have something done before the August recess or even before 2022? We've been waiting so long, it's deadline after deadline. So Chuck Schumer said senators should prepare to work through the weekend in order to finish the bipartisan infrastructure bill. And he said, we're going to get this done through the August recess if we have to stay, period. Like, through the weekend, it was supposed to be done weekends ago. You said this many times that you're going to work through the weekend. So I guess still they are working out the details that we don't know officially yet what it is, but they keep saying, yes, we're going to get it done. I don't know. Next, let's talk about the increase in Social Security. So Social Security checks may see a huge raise next year. Will it be enough? So this is changing kind of on a weekly basis. I think last week I said it was going to be a potential 5.8% increase. Now, so what it's saying here is the Consumer Price Index, the primary indicator of inflation in America, shows it hit an annual rate of 5.4% in June, a 13-year high. And it's saying the New York Federal Reserve survey found consumers expect average inflation of 4.8% for the remainder of 2021. But based on these year's price hikes, and as you notice, almost everything is raising up in prices. Food at the grocery store is rising. Not that anyone's really buying a lot of cars here, but car prices are really high, gas prices, everything is going up. So the Senior Citizens League is projecting that Social Security benefits could be boosted by 6.1% for 2022. So to give you simple math, for every $1,000 that you collect in Social Security for the month, you're going to get an additional $61, 6.1%. If you're making $500 for the month, then you're going to get $30.50 extra for the month. So it doesn't matter how much money you get for Social Security, but just based on this, for every $1,000 you get, you're going to get an additional 6.1% according to this math so far. This may change on a day-to-day basis, but I want to keep you updated on what's going on, this way you have an idea. So this is nothing compared to the $200 per month, which was promised by President Biden, which we're still waiting to hear. Haven't heard any new news on that. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Sue Ward asks, where do we apply for the mortgage relief program for homeowners and forbearance program to bring our mortgage current in Texas? So if you go to the website is ncsha.org, you can see right here on the screen, scha.org, and you find your state. So let's just say you click Texas. What you're going to have to do is contact your state housing agency. So if we go back to that, you'll see a bunch of different states in alphabetical order. So if you're not in Texas, but any other state in the country, Alabama, Alaska, you click on this and you would apply through your state's housing agency to get any of that $10 billion, which is available for mortgage assistance. Next question comes from Mark McAuliffe. Did she not understand the question? Sheesh. Yeah, so based on the question which was asked yesterday's video, when the White House was asked about fourth stimulus check, additional $1,400 checks because of the Delta variant coming, the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki completely dodged the question, completely. So it wasn't a definite yes or a definite no, just completely dodged the question there. Wendy Schumann asks, where's the $200 a month in Social Security that Biden said he'd do within 100 days of office? He's another liar president. Yeah, so unfortunately, he did promise that. 100 days, I think, has gone and passed. He's a little over, I think, 6 months and a week into office. And yeah, no $200 per month increase for Social Security, not even addressing the issue, especially with all these big packages coming out. I think people just want to know whether it's going to be in there or not, or when this is going to pass, when he's going to plan on doing this. But being completely silent is not cool at all. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully brighten your day a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should always do. So, like if you're on in a kitchen table or in your bedroom, you should always sit on your bed or a chair. Take 1 minute off of your phone and take 10 breaths in. Breathe in and breathe out. That's what you should always do, because if you need to feel happy and feel, because that this is your only life. You need to take a chance of your life, because this is your only one and only life that can be a happy life for you. And just know, you should always stay happy forever. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. I know it's not always the best news I'm giving, but I am the messenger, and I'm just trying to give you the news in a short, easy to understand way. If you appreciate that, hit the like button down below. And thank you so much for being a part of the Wise Flies community. I really appreciate your time. If you want to check out any of my other videos, you can click this video up here or this video down over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.